The first element is I'm going to tell you about a client. He finished a 6 months program with me and all went well and he was very happy with it and he started crushing his goals. But he made a call to me over the weekend and asked me could I have a chat with him. So I did. And Sunday we had a conversation and he said he was in a bit of a dilemma, or he's in a bit of a stuck again. And I said to him, well, hold on, you can't be stuck. I said, you need to utilize the material to get you out of stuck. I said, because you've always got access to it. So anyway, a long story short, what it was he had just been offered a very big promotion in work. But initially he was thinking of leaving work and becoming self-employed and following his dream. But he also decided that he wanted to buy a home. So his major goal, or his what we call our C goal, was to work towards getting a home for himself. He currently rents. So a very long story short, he had said that when he had finished the program, he had realized that in fact his dream was to build a home, not to buy a home, it was to build a home. So his dream was to find a plot of land and build on it. So he said he was just caught in a bit of a dilemma and he just needed a little bit of direction. And I said to him, well, you don't need direction. You already know the answer, but shoot anyway. So what he progressed to tell me was that he had got caught up whether he was going to buy land or whether he was going to build a house or whether he was going to buy a house or remortgage a house or whatever the case may be. So it turns out that as we were talking, I'd said to him, look, you love to do a lot of sports and stuff. When was the last time you were doing it? And he said, I had been out with friends of mine the weekend and a friend of mine had said to me that he is now in a divorce with his wife. And I said, okay. I said, so tell me more. And he said he had decided that he was going to leave his wife and he has a plot of land that he wants to sell. Would I be interested in buying it? And I said to him, what did you just say to me? And he says, my friend asked me would I be interested in buying a plot of land off him. And I said, okay, let's backtrack 5 to 10 minutes into conversation. And what did you say to me earlier? And he said, oh my God. He said it was like a light bulb went on his head. He just realized the connection between what he was looking for, how it happened, and of course, the way it actually manifested itself. And he realized that it was staring him in the face. So I said to him, so what's changed that you were very effective when you were doing the training? So what had changed between now and, in the last couple of months or whatever that has allowed you to fall back into your old paradigms? And he said, I start thinking about the house and about the land. And I said, yeah, and about everything else. But I said, now that you've spoken to me, I said, you've got a little bit of a realization that you can go back to that. And he said, exactly. He'd realized basically what it comes back to was he'd realized that he was chasing his dream. He had allowed the old paradigms to suck him back in, which happens everybody at some stage. And this is why I always say, no matter who I've ever worked with, they always stay connected to me because I will always help them again. I will always guide them or give them some direction of some description. They know the answers. I don't need to do anything. I just need to give them a little prod in the right direction. But what had happened here was that he had fallen back and he just needed a little prod to get back in line. And what had actually happened was what he was looking for and what he was chasing was right there beside him. He had gotten offered it, but had failed to realize it was in front of him. And the reason why he had failed to do that is because what happens, everybody, you get caught up in your habitual behaviors all day long. And of course, you can't see the wood through the trees then because you're not in the right frame of mind. Or what I always say is you're not in the right frequency of your goal. So now I'm going to tell you the second part of it, which has got to do with me personally. So a couple of months back, I decided to sell one of my businesses. Okay, so I have several businesses and I've decided to sell one of them. It's one that I have an emotional attachment to it because I have it for a long time and I spent a lot of work and a lot of money and so forth building it up, but it's been very, very good to me. So that's why I have an emotional attachment to it. So I decided to sell it a couple of months ago. So progressed with selling it, no interest, nobody wanted to buy it, nobody inquiring about it or anything like that. So this went on for a couple of months. I went away on holidays for a couple of weeks. In fact, it was 3 weeks I took off. And while I was on holidays, I decided that I wanted to get emotionally attached to my goals. I wanted to get in the right frequency as I've done in the past. So I decided to actually get on the right frequency of my goal. And the goal was to manifest selling my business. So that's what I did. So every day I would think about it. Every day I would see the sale of it. Every day I would see somebody shaking my hand and taking the business off me. I'd see the money coming into me and into my bank account. And of course, me then spending the money on what I chose to spend it on and having a good lifestyle with it.
So I did that for every day and I thought nothing of it. So of course I was thinking about nothing else, only about, luxury and abundance. I arrived back from my holidays and I had 3 inquiries, not one, not two, 3 inquiries for people wanting or looking to seek to purchase my business. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to sell it to one of these individuals, but what I'm saying is that I had nothing. I started to get on the frequency of my goal and things started to happen. So I started chipping away at what I wanted, not what I needed, what I wanted. And of course, it started to manifest itself. So what has happened since then is it's progressed to the next stage. I've now had 3 meetings and I now have 3 interested parties. Again, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm actually manifesting as we go along. So what has happened to both this individual and to me? There are 2 things. The first one is the same as what everybody else does. They don't get on the right frequency of their goals, so therefore they don't happen. The second one is they do get on the right frequency and then they forget about it and they move on. They do 5 minutes a day and think that this is going to change the world, and it doesn't. Whereas if you find that you get on the right frequency of your goal and you constantly stay there, you can manifest what you want. You can get exactly what you want.